One of the things that we talk a lot about in email is the mantra of test, test, test. And I see a lot of email marketers that are interested in testing but aren't really sure how to conduct an A/B split test. Can you give them some tips on how to set up and run the A/B split test?
Yeah, absolutely. And mastering the A/B split test is the first step toward doing more sophisticated testing, whether that's multivariate testing, holdout testing, whatever it happens to be. But an A/B split test at its core is really simple. You have let's say you have two versions of a message and you want to test different subject lines for these messages. You want to see which one generates more response overall. Well, you're going to determine what metric is going to serve as your winner, what's going to determine which version won. In some cases, you might want to say that's opens or that's clicks. Ideally, you'd be looking at something like, say, conversions for a promotional message. But you're going to set up those two versions of the message. You're going to pick random groups of people, or at least either of your entire list or of a subset of your list that you've determined this test is appropriate for. You're going to send out one version to a portion of that group. You're going to send out the other version to another portion, and then you're going to have a third group that you've set aside. And the reason you set that third group aside is you want to send the winner to them. An A/B test is not 50% of the list gets this version, and 50% of the list gets this version. It might be 20% gets this version, 20% gets this other version, and then whichever one wins goes to the last 60%. Now, those group sizes are going to be based on, how big of a group do you need for it to be statistically significant, or for you to be able to make a decision on which version won. But that's A/B split testing at its core. It's if you have two versions of a message, you have three groups, and you send the winner to the biggest